Is anyone out there? This is Gloria. Welcome to my live stream. This is the first time I'm using like YouTube, doing some live stream stuff, and I hope at least my regular students that I teach during the week are tuned in. So if you have any questions, you can type it in, and then I will see them. And I'll try to respond to as many as I can. Try to have it relevant to what we are. Aaliyah, thanks for joining. Yay, good to see you. So, I'm here because, my students, we don't have classes anymore because everything's shut down. And I want you guys to be healthy. I want your immune system strong, and so we need to move, we need to exercise. I made my daughters join this morning and exercise with me because they've just been lounging around. So, and I want you to be out there, I want you to be healthy, and I want to do what I can to help anybody out there, especially my students that I know, but anyone else is welcome to join. The more the merrier. And I'm going to do a flow today that covers just a well-balanced flow. I'm trying to hit all the major family groups, but I think I'm going to emphasis on things that help with anxiety because of, we are all in that mindset right now where, everyone is anxious. And so I will do, usually like hamstring work helps with that, and a little like hamstring hip stuff, a little heart opening, a little twists. So a little bit of everything, and I'll try to modify because I know there's going to be some beginners and there's going to be some more advanced. I'll try to narrow it down. So shall we begin? Should I begin? All right. So let's just start in a comfortable seated position. So you don't have to do this. You can sit on a blanket, a block. Oh, if you have a block, if you have two blocks, just to raise the floor up, so when you do like forward folds and stuff, you can grab them. Or if you don't have blocks, you're new to yoga, you can grab like soup cans, you can grab your toilet paper, whatever works. And if you have a strap, that might be helpful for you as well. If you don't have a strap, you can use a belt or a resistance band, anything, a towel. Okay? All right, so let's start by sitting up nice and tall. We're just going to interlace our fingers and just lengthen up through the crown of our head as we just circumduct our wrists here. And we're going to reach one arm higher than the other, one arm higher than the other. And we're going to take a twist here, just a gentle twist. It's just the beginning. Oh, welcome. Hi, Karen, you made it. Yay. Hi, Jen. Jen's in my class at JCC. Glad you could make it. Aaliyah. Okay. Oh, Tanya made it. Yay. Good to see you guys. Okay. I'm going to stop talking now. We need to like come to the present moment. We need to close our eyes for a moment, at least. Just, you can take your hands on your belly if you want, or just down here. Just close your eyes, tune in, and just bring all that awareness to your breath. So as you inhale, just let the belly expand wide, and exhale, let it relax down towards your spine. You want to take nice, deep, full breaths. So if you need it, you can even take one hand on the chest, one hand on your belly. So wave breathing. As you inhale, belly, ribs, and chest will rise on the inhale and fall on the exhale. Nice deep breaths in and out. As you exhale, you really want to let go of anything going on in that outside world. We've been holding on to a lot of stuff going on out there. You want to let it all go now so you can be here for yourself for the next 60 minutes that you're already committed to yoga here with me. I'm here with you, so let's make the most of it. Really tune in here. Turn off your phones. Tell your spouses to take care of the kids. 3 more breaths here. When we breathe deep into our belly, we can, let go of that sympathetic stress response in our body, and we can tune into that relaxation mode and have that parasympathetic nervous system kicking in. All right, let's bring our hands in front of our hearts and drop our gaze. And just take a moment to remember why we're here. Setting an intention for this practice. And we'll seal that in with 3 ohms. Inhaling deeply. Just notice how that oming feels in your body. As we slowly open our eyes, and we'll come into a supine position. Just go ahead and lay down. Daisy. All right. So you want to lay down. Your knees are your feet are slightly wider than your hips. And you can have your fingers touching your heels, and then you know you're in the right position. So we're going to inhale, lifting the arms up over your head on the inhale, and then exhale, bringing them down. Inhale, you're going to press into your feet, scoop up your pelvis and your spine on the inhale. And then exhale, slowly rolling it down 1 vertebra at a time. Inhale, lift your pelvis up, your spine, squeezing your glutes on the way up as you activate them, and then slowly coming down. 2 more like this. Inhale up, exhale down. Last one up. And then from here, you're going to bring your hands underneath you. See if you can clasp them under. And you're going to walk your shoulder blades closer to each other as you straighten the arms, pressing the pinky side of your arms, hands into the floor, and then engaging your glutes, lifting up your pelvis higher. A few breaths here. And release your hands, and you're going to slowly lower down. And then we're going to walk our feet forward, heels down, toes up, and a little bit out to the side. So we're going to do the same movement, but this time we're going to activate our hamstrings also, because we want to work our hamstrings a little before we stretch them a lot. So pressing down with the heels, you're going to lift up, and you'll feel the hamstrings turning on, and then tap it down. So lift up with control. Inhale up. If you don't feel the hamstrings enough, you can walk them even further out. But you want to keep the heels down, toes up. Oh yeah, I feel it a lot more. You can almost straighten it and you'll feel it a lot more. Really activate those hamstrings your posterior chain. Inhale up and down. Let's do 6 more. 5, 4, 3. Alina made it. Hi, Alina. 2 and 1. And slowly lower down. You'll bring your feet together under your knees. And then you're going to lift up again. So this time we're going to activate our glutes separately because often we have like one lazy butt, one turns off, right? So lifting your hips high. See if you can lift the right leg straight up. Point your toe. If this is too much, it can be down here like this. And then you'll notice how hard it is. Your left glutes are firing. Tap it down and up for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and release. And then the other side, left leg points, and you're going to see if the right glutes are on, lifting up. And notice if it's easier or harder. Tap it down and lift it up and down. 4, 3, 2. Anastasia, join us. Thank you. And coming down, drawing the knees in. And we're going to take your knees wide and come into a happy baby pose. So you want your feet parallel to the ceiling as if you're going to press the ceiling away. So if you're less flexible, because I know some of you are beginners, you can just grab the back of your hamstrings here instead. Okay, and then the knees as wide as you can. So grabbing onto there. If you're more flexible, you can stamp your low back into the floor, and that will recreate your lumbar curve. Also, you want to pull the shoulders back into the joints and just feel that stretch here. If you like, you can do a happy baby a little side to side. If that feels good to you. Or even holding your big toes and straightening if you're open to that. It's a little bit of a pun. Anyways, I just made it up now. Okay, release. And then you're going to take your hands behind you and you're going to rock up to a seated position. And you're going to lift your chest and squeeze your shoulder blades together with the fingers facing forward or out to the side. And then see if it feels good to drop your neck back. And then come back to center. If that felt okay, see if you can take it up a notch and coming up to tabletop position. So again, letting your neck just gently fall back. And slowly come down. So you can do one of those two that we just did. Or you can straighten the legs. And then you can come into reverse plank. So don't do this. Don't do anything that doesn't feel good. You can just do a gentler pose. One of those two we just did. And then come on back. And let's come on to all fours here. So knees wide. We're going to do a little cat-cow here. So we're going to drop the belly and look up. Exhale, round your back. Tuck your tailbone under. Drop the belly, look up. Exhale, drop your tailbone. And let's take, for the carpal tunnel, let's go ahead and take the fingers to face the knees. If it's too big a stretch, just walk your hands closer. So wherever you're at. And then let's do a little cat-cow with lion's breath. So Lily, hi. And then you're gonna So Lily, I think Jared would like to join. He asked me for a private yoga class, so you should have him come on too. Exhale. Inhale, coming up. Exhale. And one last time. All right. Fingers facing forward. Let's bring our knees together and right leg back. Let's lift it straight up. If you can, left hand forward. Little pulses. This is great for your back, posterior chain, also for your core. So neck in line with your spine, little tiny pulses. Good, and then you're gonna stop and you're gonna turn to your left. See if you can catch your foot. If you can catch it, just kick it away. Good. And release. Other side. So left leg is straight, lift it straight up. So just a small little opposite arm. If it's hard to balance, you can keep your arm down, okay? So go at your own pace. Keeping the neck in line with your spine. This gets easier the more you do it, so you'll see me doing this often with you. So turning, kicking your leg away, opening up your chest muscles. And release. We're going to come to the floor now. So chin down, and let's take our hands by our hips. And then we're going to come up for Shalabhasana, so lift everything up if you can. Good. Point your toes. Let's bring your feet closer together. Good. Exhale down. Coming up. And down. And let's take our hands in front of us in the corners of our mat. This is good for your posture. Pressing the tops of your feet in. You're going to come on up. And then making a Y. And then pulling it down like a W. And a Y. And a W. And then hands by your side here. You're going to come up for a cobra. Rolling the shoulders back. If cobra is hard, you can always come down to your forearms for a modified cobra. So when I say cobra, it's the cobra that feels best for you, okay? So it could be here. I'm going to do it like this. Roll your shoulders back. Let's bend your elbows and squeeze your ribs in slightly. Turn and look over your right shoulder. Let's turn and look over your left shoulder. Let's come back to center. And let's curl the toes under, and we'll come into downward dog. So downward facing dog, like that triangle shape with your body. The ears between the arms. See if you can pedal your feet a little bit. We'll bring our feet closer together. We'll lift the right leg straight up. And we're going to bring the knee to your nose. Round up like a cat. Little core work here. Take it back. We'll bring the knee to the right elbow. A little tap. Take it back. If you can't tap it there, just tap close to it. And then across your body to the opposite elbow. And then take it back. And then we're going to bring your foot forward to a runner's lunge. And then from here, we're going to come straight up. See if you can straighten both legs. If you need to shorten your stance, you can step in a little bit. And this is where you get your cans or your toilet paper or your books. If you're like this, if you can't touch, if you're really stiff and you can't touch, the blocks help to raise the floor higher. So you want to use blocks like this. And you want to take your right hip back, left hip forward. So you should really feel this in your hamstrings here. So this is a great pose to calm you down. It's part of your kidney meridian. So kidney, when the meridian is stuck and stagnant, you have more fear and insecurity. So that's why for anxiety, these poses are great. So coming down, you can stay here or on your blocks, or you can lift your toes up and you'll feel that different stretch in your hamstrings. You can even rock onto the heel of the front foot, isometrically dragging it back toward you. Feel those hamstrings turning on. And then you're going to put the foot back down on the floor and you're going to bend the back knee. And keep your chest on your thigh for this one. Just bring your hips forward. You'll feel the front of your hip flexor stretch and just look up. So if your knee hurts you for these poses, you can use a blanket, a towel rolled up under your knee. And now you'll straighten up and come back up. So pop back up. That's coming back into this hamstring stretch. Again, with the blocks or without, forehead towards your shin. Or your, forehead towards your shin. And then bend the back knee down. And this time we're going to come on up, interlace your fingers, and you're going to bring your hips forward. So pressing into the back knee, lifting up through the crown of your head, you'll feel these left hip flexors turn on. So if you want, also you can use blocks here, or you can just use your hands here so that your upper body is upright. So you want to press in to lift up here. And you want to go to like your 60, 80%. You don't want to pull anything. All right, now we're going to come back up. So you're like this. The left hip is over the left knee. Lift your left arm up, and you're going to take your elbow past the knee here. So you're going to twist. So option to just drop the arm down and twist like this as well. Okay, so here's your twists. If you have good balance and the strength, you can lift up into a high lunge twist. Even open the arms for some of you. And release. Knees down. You can do knees, chest, chin. Or you can just come forward onto your belly and find your cobra. And downward facing dog. Inhale through the nose and out the mouth. Left leg lifts, bend it and stack it. Open your hips. Let's bring it forward. Other side into a runner's lunge first. This. Again, using blocks if you need to, and then you'll straighten both legs. You can shorten your stance if you need to. Take your left hip back, and then you'll fold. Forehead towards your shin. It might look like this if you're using props, or maybe you'll even use a chair or a sofa. Or if you don't have props, you can just do this, hands on your shin. rock on. Lift the front toes up. And then lift up your whole foot so you feel your heel down there. And fold. And then you're going to bend the back knee and come forward. Keep your chest on your front thigh for this one. And breathe. Breathe into those hip flexors. Good, and straighten both legs again. You can walk. You can have a shorter stance again if you need to. So folding forward, take that left hip back, forehead towards your shin. It's okay if the front leg is bent slightly, but you want to try to straighten it a little, as much as you can. And as long as you still feel that hamstring stretch, then you're good. And then you're going to drop down. Let's come on up for a low lunge. Interlace your fingers and bring your hips forward. Your upper body is upright. You're pressing down into the back knee and lifting up through the crown of your head. And you're breathing deep. Again, 60%, 80% at the most. If you're filling up to it and you want to add a little more, you can lift your arms up overhead. Okay, now you want to come on up. So the right hip is over the right knee. And then this is a right angle here. Right arm comes up. And you're going to twist. So you try to twist the elbow, hook it over the knee if you can. Otherwise, you can bring your hand down for a twist, okay? So elbow over the knee, elbow over the knee, elbow over the knee, and turn the whole chest this way. Namaste your hands. See if you can press your thumbs into your heart into your thumb. And then maybe even come on up. Keep taking the left hip back. Maybe open the arms. If you have a backward spine practice and you didn't just eat, you can bind here. It's not easy, but it gives you a nice ring of fresh blood after you unwind there. All right, let's come on down to your belly. Forearms down. We're going to do a quick curled toes under, a little plank, a little core work. So 8-point plank, your hands to your 2 elbows, your 2 knees, and your curled toes will stay down. Knees down, elbows down. And then your body will look like cat pose, okay? So the way you do it is you're going to press down with the elbows round up like cat pose, but your knees stay down. Keep the gaze between your forearms. Lift up between your shoulder blades. As much as you can, protract those shoulder blades. And then isometrically drag the knees together and then up towards your elbows. Drag the elbows down towards your knees. Shaking is good. If you're not shaking, keep isometrically squeezing together and squeezing elbows down to knees until you shake. Anytime you need a break, come on down. 3 more breaths, guys. You got it. 3 more breaths. And slowly come on down. All right, let's shimmy side to side. And we're going to do one more core here. So you're going to come on up to plank with straight legs. Keep pressing with the elbows. And then we're just going to bend the right knee to slightly tap it. And then the left knee. Right knee, left knee, right knee, left knee. So we'll do 10 more, 9, 8. You got this. Strong core is a strong body. It's the core. So let's go. 5 more, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew, come on down. You can take a quick rest here. Crocodile pose. Rest your forearms and your forehead on your forearms so it's a little relaxing to the nervous system to put a little pressure here on the forearm. All right, curl the toes, downward dog. So bring your feet together. You're going to lift the right leg up. You're going to bend your knee and stack your hips. So one hip over the other. And you're going to look under your left underarm. Feel those right hip flexors stretch. So you can stay here. Or you can flip your dog. So come onto the edge of your left foot, the ball of your right foot, and lift your hips up as much as you can. Maybe even find a mudra here, forefinger and thumb. You can also do this with bent knees if you can't do that. And then come on back. Right leg comes forward. Let's spin the back. Actually, let's keep the back heel up. Crescent pose. So root down through your feet. Connect. And then arms out. Let's bring the arms in front of you and turn to your right. And balance. See if you can balance here. And slowly drop your left hand down. You can use blocks if you need to. And twist. And then step it back. So chaturanga if you like, or to your belly. Cobra or up dog. And downward facing dog. Left leg lifts. You want to bend it and stack it. Open your hips. Look under your left underarm. You'll feel those right hip flexors stretching. Again, stay here or flip your dog. Flip your dog, edge of your right foot, ball of your left foot. Lift up your hips. Wild thing, and then come on back. Oh, yes. You could 3-leg and just bring it forward. High lunge, other side. So, you want to root down through your feet and get grounded. You want to work more, you come down, the front leg is almost parallel to the floor. If you want to work less, you don't have to come down so much. And then we're just gonna, let's just turn and balance. How are you guys doing? You doing okay? We're more than halfway there, so just hang in there. I promise you'll feel better after. Right hand down, hand twist. And from here, you're gonna quarter turn to your right. Prasarita. So, oops, let me do it this way. So if your head touches, go for it. If you need your blocks to feel better in your back, of course do so. And then come forward. Yay! So if your head touches the floor, I know a lot of you won't be able to touch your head, that's fine. But if it does touch, you can bring your wrists under your elbows here. All right, then you're gonna lift and lengthen, nice flat back. And we're gonna quarter turn to your right. Yeah, your right. So let's have your right leg forward for warrior one. So the back heel is down. The back heel is down. Heel to heel alignment. And then this is good for posture and for your lungs, letting go of old energy. You take your hands, it's called the bear swimming. Oh, maybe this is better angle. So the palms up. You're gonna exhale as you come forward and then swim it back. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale forward. Inhale, swim it back. Exhale forward, old energy out. Make room for new energy, breathing it in, out, and in. So any kind of nervous, anxiety, out. Let it out of your system and bring new energy in. 2 more like that. Last one. Good. All right, let's interlace your fingers here and straighten the arms. See if you can lean forward and bring your chest onto that inner thigh and then lift the arms overhead. For humble warrior, if it's really tight shoulders, you can use a towel or belt and you can do it like this. Okay? All right. So hands to the floor. And you're going to step it back. Chaturanga or to your belly. Cobra or up dog. And downward facing dog. You can inhale through the nose. Open the mouth and side out. All right, other side, left leg lifts. Let's bring it forward. Spin the back heel down. Warrior one. Square your hips forward. So it's a heel to heel alignment for most people like this. The front knee is bent right over the ankle. And then palms up, exhale forward, and then inhale, swim it back. You can straighten the front leg a little bit. Exhale forward, inhale, swim it back. Exhale forward, swim it back, squeezing between your shoulder blades, opening the chest muscles, strengthening your upper back muscles for better posture. Exhale, old energy out. Making room for courage in. Nice deep breath. Last one. Full breath of courage and inspiration. Let's take clasped hands. Take your opposite pinky at the bottom. And roll your shoulders back. Humble warrior resting on the inner thigh. Lifting the arms up. And release your hands to the floor. You're going to quarter turn to your right and heel toe a little bit in and slowly come on up. So you could even have a little heels in, toes out here. So you're going to bring your hips back, interlace your fingers, and you're going to bend one knee. The back is nice and flat. Yay, Tanya. I'm glad you're still in it. You finally made time to come to my class. All right, so from the side it looks like this. The back, try to keep that back flat going side to side. If this is hard for you, you can use a table. You can hold a table and just go a little bit. If this is easy for you, you can come all the way down. And then you will straighten one leg, heel down, toes up. And if this knee is bent, you'll drop your heel and then take your knee out. Don't take your knee out, that sounded bad. Just, you know, press it out gently. And if you're able to do this, see if you can connect to the core without touching your hand, lifting up and other side. And then pressing the knee out. We'll go one more on each side here. Up and down. So option here to take a bind if you like. Only if you can come down like this, you'll take one arm behind like this. I know a lot of you won't be able to do this. Just at least some of you can do this. I know some of you, my students, can probably do this. Anastasia, you can probably do this. And Jen. Oops. So come on down like this. All right. So we're gonna come on up to the top of your mat, and you're gonna step your left leg back into warrior one. So left hand will pat yourself on the back this time, and take your elbow behind you. Press your head back into the elbow and maybe take a full bind here, or maybe you can do this, or if you have a ponytail you can do this. So find something that works. I'm just going to turn around so better for you. And you'll release. So release and grab opposite elbows. Straighten the front leg and fold for Parsvottanasana. You can also do reverse namaste here. Reverse namaste, swimming it up, or even open reverse namaste. See if you can balance as you come forward. But if it's hard, feel free to get your blocks here. On either side, straight back. Yep. So let's all release our hands to the blocks or to the floor here. Just fold forward. And then we're going to lift our hands right under our knee, and our back is nice and flat. Take your right hip back and spin it up. So maybe take your hand to your sacrum, roll your shoulder out, and this is we're gonna come into reverse revolve triangle. So you can take a block on either side of your foot here if you need a modification, and take your arm up. If you don't need a modification, your hand will drop to the outside edge of your foot and you'll twist, twist, twist. Keep drawing the belly in, keep taking your right hip back, and you'll feel that IT band stretching here. All right. Come on down. And come to your belly. Find your cobra. And downward dog. Left leg lifts. Let's bring it forward, other side. Warrior one, coming up. And this time patting yourself on the back. Elbow behind you. Press your head back into the elbow. This is your anti-computer pose here. You can clasp your hands, lean back, use a strap if you need to. And then you'll release your right hand, reverse namaste, or you can, most people just grab opposite forearms or opposite elbows. So see if you can straighten the front leg. You can even walk your feet closer together if you need to, and then fold forward. As you balance, and go ahead and release your hands to the floor or blocks, and then lift and lengthen. Hands right here under your knee, and you can take your left hip back, left hand on your sacrum, neck in line with your spine, and twist your whole body to the left. And you can use a block on either side of your foot for the full pose, revolved triangle. Again, keep pulling the belly in, taking the left hip back. All right, and release it down. All right, good job, everyone. Let's come on down, and we're going to come into the hips now. So we'll bring your right knee out to the side for a pigeon pose. So we carry a lot of emotions in our hips, so this is a good stretch too. If you can get the knee out to the edge, and then for beginners, you take the heel, here, maybe you can see me better this way. Beginners, you'll put the heel right here under your pubic bone, okay? And then if you're more advanced, you dorsiflex your foot here. So you want to curl the toes back towards your knee, and then you'll parallel the shin to the front of your mat. But only if you're ready. You shouldn't feel any weird stuff in your knees, okay? So if this doesn't work for you, if your hips are really tight, you can take a block or a blanket and you stick it underneath your hip that's really high at height. If you need a modification and this just not working for you, you can do thread the needle. So you'll bring your right ankle over the left knee, and then you'll just take your hands behind your hamstrings or in front of your shin. Okay, so I'll just be here for you. So from here, forearms to a block or to the floor, and you want to keep it active. So keep, pulling in, squaring the hips forward. You should feel this like in the middle of your piriformis, stretching all the way out. So if you do lazy pigeon and go all the way down, that's fine too, but then you'll notice you don't feel that engagement in the middle of your piriformis there. All right. So come on up and you're going to turn to the left. See if you can bend that back leg and you might be able to catch it. If you catch it, pull it in. If you have a mermaid practice, you can practice it. So that's basically squeezing your legs together, your core, so you don't fall over, and lifting the arm up any amount, maybe clasping like this. All right, and switch sides. If you want to take one last flow between chaturanga, you can, cobra, or just switch sides. Left leg up. Find your pigeon. Come on down. Square the hips. Take the left hip back. Right hip forward. And then come on up, turn to your right, grab your foot, pull it in. Optional mermaid. And release. You're going to bring the back foot forward. For Janu Shirshasana, you're going to straighten this leg. You're going to bring your like tree pose for this side. Hands behind you, lift your chest, roll your shoulders back. Left hand comes up and you're going to go towards the outer edge of your foot here, and you're going to fold the head towards your shin, head to knee pose or Janu Shirshasana. If your back is rounded like this, or your pelvis is tilted this way instead of that way, then you should get a strap or something, and you want to, instead you just want to pull back so your back is flat, squeeze between your shoulders and do this, and you can feel those hamstrings working. Okay, so otherwise not only can you feel this in your hamstrings, but you should feel it in the back, the low back, the left side of your low back here. Okay, come on up, and we're going to switch sides. So you can roll the inner thighs out, roll the junk out of the trunk, and that kind of helps put the pelvis in the right position. Again, use that strap if you need to. Hands behind you, lift your chest, right arm up and twist towards the outer edge of your foot, and then come down. I like to put my thumb down here, kind of like an anchor, forehead towards your shin. Up. And let's come on down to your belly. To your belly. I'll face you. Or actually, I don't have to there. All right. So then we're going to come up for Shalabhasana. And you can stay here or grab your ankles and kick your shins away. Bring your feet to touch if you can. Hold the ankles, and we're going to roll over to the left. And come on back. And roll over to the right. Try not to Let go of your ankles, shoulder opening, little back bend. Makes you feel courageous and release. Stack your forearms. And you can come on up. Let's see, how much time do we have? Oh, yeah, we have time. Okay, so if you want to take a quick Shavasana, you can. But actually, let's do laying on your back. You can do a fish pose, so just lifting, sitting on your hands basically, and then pressing down with your elbows. Lift up your sternum, and then if you can, the head will touch, but even if you're hovering, it should feel good. And release, and we'll do one last. Oh, if you want to do a Shavasana, you can do a Shavasana for a couple, 2 minutes left. Otherwise, some people like to work all the way through. You can Shavasana when I'm done here. So you can take your strap here and do your hamstrings here. You're just pulling it all the way in. That's number one. Or if you want to go a little deeper, I know some of you are very flexible, like Jen, you always can stretch a lot. You can go into full splits, or you can just slide a blanket or a towel back like this and come as low as you're comfortable going. And breathe. You can sigh or yawn because the hips and the jaw kind of lock up at the same time. And release. And do the other side. Just sliding back. You can stay here if you like, or just go back as much as you're comfortable. Yawning. Okay, and are we done? Slowly coming back. And if you have time for a Shavasana, you can take one. Otherwise, we're going to close together. So sitting up comfortably. Big inhale in and out. As we surrender to our practice and just notice how you feel in your body after moving it. I hope it helps with your immune system, making you feel better, and with any anxiety that you may have had. We'll circle the palms up. Namaste your hands in front of your heart and press it into your heart center as you smile, and just feel gratitude for something you're most grateful for at this moment. Feel blessed. And with gratitude for our practice here together and for you being here with me today, let's offer one Om to seal it in, inhaling deeply. Thank you. Namaste. And please subscribe to my channel. Click the like button if you liked it. If you enjoy these videos, let me know so I know I have an audience. And if you let me know what day and time is best for you and anything I can do to improve. This is my first one, so I don't know if the lighting, sound quality, You can do requests on what kind of shows you want me to do and how often you would like this kind of class. All right, thank you so much for joining. Hope you have a good day. Stay safe. Namaste.